Alright everyone, what is going on? It's your friend Voodoo here. I am coming to you today with a very special edition of Voodoo's Verdict, my honest and thorough video game review series. And it's special today because for the first time I'm going to be taking a look at a game and reviewing a game on the next generation of consoles. I'm going to be talking about my first PlayStation 4 game today, so it will be interesting to talk about how this game looks and compare it a little bit to games in previous generations, especially since this is a series that is long going and we have plenty of games to compare it to. So the game that we're going to be talking about today is Call of Duty Ghosts, again for PlayStation 4. Obviously, Call of Duty Ghosts, Call of Duty is a yearly series, comes out every November. We always know it's coming out. We always know basically what to expect from the series. And, this year obviously was the first one on the next generation. So, what exactly is Ghosts? How does it differ from its predecessors, if at all? Is it worth you getting? And, is this game worth your money? Well, Call of Duty Ghosts has three components that we'll discuss today. We will discuss the campaign of the game, of course the multiplayer, which is probably the biggest part of the game, and the Extinction co-op mode that is new in this format, I should say, to Call of Duty. So, first off, the campaign. The campaign plays out extremely similarly to how basically almost every Call of Duty and other modern first-person shooter or war first-person shooter plays out. You eventually become a part of a very elite special squad of soldiers within the United States government, known as the Ghosts. And the point of this game is that there is a terrorist organization known as the Federation. They have more or less united and taken over the continent of South America, and they are able to reverse engineer a space weapon known as Odin that was originally built by the United States of America, presumably for defense and aid in war and that kind of thing. It's this satellite that orbits and shoots extremely destructive lasers down onto the planet that can be guided in and can wipe out entire cities and areas of states. So it's obviously massively powerful. Well, this Federation group is able to reverse engineer the technology in Odin. They're able to build their own version of this, send it up into space, and it's your job as members of the Ghost Squad to help out the United States Army in making sure that obviously they're not able to use this weapon against the U.S. to take it over for the Federation. Basically, the Federation already was able to commandeer Odin and basically exact strikes on the southwest part of the United States. So especially in California, the areas of San Diego, Los Angeles, that area is completely destroyed and devastated by Odin when the Federation's able to commandeer it. So a lot of the game takes place, pretty much all the game takes place in the southwest, in California, that area. A couple of times you will actually head up into space to do some combat up there around the satellites, and I think the campaign is pretty good. Again, it's a pretty solid campaign. I usually do enjoy the campaigns of Call of Duty. Once again, standard time frame for this type of game, 4 to 5 hour long campaign, run and gun style campaign, plays basically exactly the same as all the other Call of Duties. I did find, maybe it was just me, I don't know, but I did find that the difficulty in this game was a little bit harder than in previous Call of Duties. Like, I remember in some past Call of Duties, like Black Ops, where you could literally run down on normal difficulty. You could run down the hallway of just an entire hallway of people shooting you. You could run down the hallway into their gunfire and melee and execute them all without dying. Not so in this game. You will actually have to make use of cover and be a little careful during the campaign of this game on medium, because I did find difficulty a little bit amped up, which is nice to have a little bit of challenge on medium, but it's by no means a difficult or challenging game on medium. But, your combat will range from all over you know, you'll go and you'll be fighting in a baseball stadium to fighting out in the open desert to fighting, like I said, up in space. There's a couple of scenes where you're underwater and you swimming through, you know, trying to get underneath a boat or whatever to put an explosive on the boat, and you're fighting enemies underwater in scuba suits, and you're a couple parts you have to swim and like evade sharks and that kind of stuff to not get eaten by the sharks. So pretty cool. Again, as usual, for most of the game, you'll play as the main character in first-person shooter. Sometimes in larger open-scale battles, you might have a multifaceted operation going on where you have a tank squad on the bottom, air support, and you know you need the tanks and the air support to take out certain objectives so that the ghost squad on the ground can move in. And so sometimes you'll jump between controlling a tank and you have to drive through and blow up things with the tank, or you'll be up in an Apache helicopter flying around taking out other helicopters and objectives on the ground, and then teleport back to the main character in the ghost squad so that you can move in on the ground and do what you need to do. So all in all, a pretty good campaign, pretty you know, solid, normal fare, epic set pieces, some on-rail parts, a good variety of different situations that you'll be in. Just to note that the whole dog mechanic thing that they talk so much about in E3 and all this other stuff is rarely even used in this game. And keep in mind, this is only a 4 to 5 hour game, so the dog is barely in it. It's mostly there in the beginning of the game, and it's one of the weirdest like parts of the game, and really didn't make any sense. But apparently, at some parts, you can control this dog via an iPad or something like that. It really made no sense, but you basically take control of the dog remotely, and you can walk him through an area and have him stealth take out enemies from behind and eavesdrop on some people's conversations. And then when you're not controlling the dog, he's part of your team, and you can basically, all he can do is you can highlight an enemy, hit L1, and the dog will go and attack that enemy and take him out. Other than that, there's really not much use of the dog in the game. For a large portion of the game, the dog's not even with you, so I have no idea why, you know, they made such a big deal about the dog in this game. It's barely in there. But yes, the fish do swim away from you. I made sure to test that out when I was in the underwater scenes. The fish will swim away from you. It's a giant improvement in gaming. It's revolutionary. It's actually not, but it does work. Yay. So anyway, that's the campaign of Ghosts. So obviously now we need to talk about the multiplayer, because the multiplayer, a huge part of the game, the biggest reason people buy Call of Duty year after year. What is the multiplayer now? Is it any different? What's the deal? Multiplayer, very, very, very similar. What did you expect, right? It's not that much different. Of course, they have made some tweaks to the multiplayer. They make tweaks every year. I will say that I vastly enjoyed this multiplayer more than Infinity Ward's last, which was Modern Warfare 3. I thought that game was garbage. I really did. And I think I probably gave it a better score than I should have given it. The reason I gave it as high a score as I gave it was because, you know, just based off potential of people who actually would like the game, there was a lot of potential there. Same kind of deal with this. But the multiplayer, again, plays identical to every other Call of Duty multiplayer with some minor tweaks, okay? Aesthetically, there is now a constant bar in the upper right-hand corner that tells you your KD and your score, which is pretty nice, that you don't have to keep looking at the whole scorecard to see how you're doing. It constantly updates you, which is pretty nice. It's a little bit different. It's where you don't really have to level up anymore to unlock guns. You do earn squad points as you play the multiplayer and get XP. You'll earn squad points, and that's how you unlock everything. Guns, perks, that type of thing. You don't really need to level up to use guns. You just have to buy them with squad points, which is kind of weird. You do need to level up to get things like perks. There's an interesting perk system, it's kind of inventory management, to where you'll have like levels of perks, like levels 1 through 6 or something like that, and whatever level perk you pick, that's how many blocks it takes up in your inventory. So I don't know how many blocks you have in your inventory, but you're not able to be fully decked out with like 4 level 6 perks. If you take a level 6 perk, you probably can only take like one level 1 perk, because it's basically inventory management. You have to it only lets you take up so many blocks in your inventory, and the level of that perk determines how much inventory it's going to take up. Other than that, loadouts are completely classic, just like they've been. You know, main weapon, secondary weapon, attachments, lethal grenade, tactical equipment, and that's basically that. Not much difference. A couple little interesting things they put in the game, like these things called field orders, which is a briefcase that there's one. I believe the way it works is that there's one of them per map, and somebody will spawn with the briefcase, and then as you kill that person, you can pick up the briefcase, and they're called field orders. And when you have the briefcase, they'll tell you to do something like get 2 kills while crouched or 1 kill while jumping or something like that. If you're able to complete that field order in the life in which you picked up the briefcase, you're rewarded with a care package. And basically, you know, if you're killed with that briefcase, you drop the briefcase and somebody else can pick it up, and it just keeps getting passed around until someone completes it, and then I assume it spawns a new one. I don't know. So that's in there. It's just kind of a little neat part of the game. Probably the biggest thing as far as gameplay is a kill streak called the guard dog, which is a 5-kill streak. Pretty much everybody's got it in their loadout that I've seen. And basically what it is, if you remember the attack dogs from Black Ops 1, I think that was like an 11-kill streak where you release a pack of dogs to run out and get kills for you. It's basically your own personal version of that. This guard dog will stick with you. He'll alert you if there's enemies around the corner by barking. Sometimes he'll detach from you and go kill an enemy that's close. If an enemy kills you, the dog will immediately go after the enemy that killed you to try to get revenge, and the dog won't die until someone kills it. So even if you die with the dog, you respawn, you'll have him with you unless someone takes him out. Which is cool if you have it. It's really annoying if someone else has it, because they can just come around the corner and instantly kill you, and they seem to take more bullets than people do to kill, which doesn't really make a lot of sense. But that's a big deal. There's a couple of other kill streaks, like Juggernaut Maniac, where you put on Juggernaut armor, but instead of guns, you wield knives. So you run around like a crazy son of a bitch, knifing people with this heavy armor on, and stuff like that. The maps in this game are enormous, and if you've looked anything into this game, you'll know that they've come out and basically said that they made the maps in this game bigger than any other Call of Duty, which is interesting, but at the same time, it kind of doesn't work, because number one, I always felt that the type of multiplayer this game should be in close quarters. You know, it's not Battlefield. Battlefield's thing is big areas and it suits it. This game, I feel like, suits more of the close quarters. But if you want to have big maps, that's fine. Unfortunately, this game is 6-on-6 multiplayer, whereas it used to be 8-on-8. So they made the maps bigger, but they reduced the numbers of players. So a lot of times on the really big maps, you'll never reach the kill limit. You'll run out of time before you reach the kill limit, because the maps are so big and there's only 6 players on each team, you can't find anybody. So that's really kind of annoying, and I don't understand why they did that. Like, you can't make the maps bigger and reduce the number of players, you know what I mean? You need to do one or the other, or none at all. So that was kind of weird to me. And the maps are hit and miss, I feel. There's some maps that are decent, there's other maps that I don't really like at all. None of the maps really stand out to me. Really none of the maps, and I would say like the past 3 Call of Duties, have really stood out to me. They're okay, they're not horrendous. I would say the biggest problem with this game is the spawning. And they've released a couple of patches in the past week that's supposed to be fixing spawning, so I guess we'll see. Maybe it won't be as bad going forward. But initial, you know, playing the game, some of the spawning was just god-awful atrocious. And I mean, you will spawn, take a couple of steps, and you'll get shot in the back by an enemy. And you're like, first of all, why am I spawning with my back open? Second of all, why am I spawning with an enemy already behind me? Either that, one time I spawned into an enemy who was shooting me. I'm not kidding. I spawned, the guy stands in front of me and kills me. Or you'll spawn, and there's a corner right there. You'll take a couple steps. There's a guy who comes around the corner and kills you. So the spawning was really messed up in this, at least during launch week. So a couple of patches have come out. I don't know if it's going to fix it. If the spawning is fixed, then it's going to make the multiplayer a lot better. But be warned that you could have some major spawning issues with this game. Other than that, I mean, that's basically it. You'll still have all your favorite Call of Duty nonsense that they just don't fix. People will still quick scope you. People will still, when you go to shoot them, they will go lay prone on the ground, killing you. People will still camp in windows. All that other kind of fun stuff. All the abusive stuff that they always do, it's still in the game. People will still run through your bullets and be able to knife you and kill you. People will run around just to be annoying with ballistic knives, and of course can shoot them accurately every single time and kill you instantly. So if you're okay with the nonsense, you're fine with it, you like the game in spite of it, that's fine. If you're somebody who doesn't like Call of Duty because of that, this isn't your game, because there's still all of it present in this game. It hasn't gone anywhere. They haven't tried to address it. They don't care about it. There is a couple new game modes. Neither of them really grasped me. One is called Cranked, basically based off the movie, where if you get a kill, you become cranked, and it gives you like enhanced abilities. You move faster, a little bit more health, you reload faster, and you have 30 seconds to get another kill. If you don't, you will explode, and for each kill you get, it resets the counter at 30 seconds. It's basically just a bunch of freaking chaos, and it's really, I played it a couple times, I didn't find it that great. The other mode is Blitz, where it's not really that imaginative. Each team has a goal on each end of the map, and your goal is to simply run to the other team's side and score on their goal. Just run in there and stand there and get points. So it's kind of almost like domination, just with, you're not capturing objectives. Each team has their own, and you have to go stand in it to score. It's not that riveting. Other than that, that's basically the multiplayer of this game. There's not much to talk about here because it's basically the same thing. A few minor tweaks, but it's not like the multiplayer is revolutionized. It's not like it's a new take on Call of Duty. No, not really. So the last thing to talk about with this game is the Extinction mode. And the Extinction mode is basically the zombie mode from the Treyarch games. Infinity Ward has now adopted their version of it, and instead of fighting zombies, you'll be fighting aliens. And it is 4-player co-op, just like zombies, and basically the idea is it plays very similarly again to zombies. You'll be in a team. There are different actual classes, which is kind of interesting. I didn't play long enough to unlock some of the other classes, but you'll have different abilities. My class, the default class, you were able to like throw ammo on the ground that your team could use. As you kill aliens, you will earn money, and you use that money to unlock your abilities, such as, throwing the ammo on the ground. I could throw explosives on the ground that my team could pick up. I could set up a turret that you could use to shoot, stuff like that. So, yeah, I mean, basically the only game mode that's out right now, I forget what it's called, but there's only one out. I assume they'll maybe add more with DLCs, but basically what you do is you start out and you have a drill, and you need to like set the drill on the alien hives and protect the drill while it's destroying the hives and kill all the aliens that are around you. So let me check something real quick, because I'm not exactly sure if there's only one map or what the deal is. But oh crap, my computer's on 1%. Great. That's just what I want. I should have checked before, but it wasn't something I actually. Okay, there is only one map. That's what I thought. Yeah, there's only one map. So, there's only one map, and like I said, you protect the drill while it's drilling, and then a couple of times after that, you'll have like this barrier, and a helicopter will have to come in and blow it up, and you have to protect the helicopter. Other than that, it works the same way as zombies. You'll have just waves and waves of, except that it's not wave based, it's objective based. But you'll have waves of different aliens that come at you, different varieties. Kill them to earn XP. If your teammate gets down, you can revive them, and you can buy weapons on the fly with your money and use your abilities. It was fun. I had fun playing the mode. I think it's enjoyable. Unfortunately, because there is only one map, I mean, unless you're planning on buying the overpriced DLCs, it might be something you get really bored with quickly because there's only one map and one mode. Now, I think it adds something to the gameplay. I think it's enjoyable, but at the same time, there's not, a ton of variety here or anything like that. So it's fun, it adds something, but it's not like a seller for the game. So, all that being said, what do I think of Call of Duty Ghosts? First of all, being on the PS4, I found the graphics are obviously the best of any Call of Duty. The lighting is amazing. It looks fantastic. It looks better than any Call of Duty. Obviously, it's next generation. And still, though, I think that these graphics are probably still going to be under par of the other titles like, Killzone and that other kind of stuff. But the game does run in full 1080p native, 60 frames per second on PS4, which is really nice. And, it looks really good. Other than that, the fact that it's on PS4, you really can't tell other than the graphics, It doesn't really make use of any of the controller gimmicks or anything like that. It's just kind of straightforward. So, what do I think of Ghosts? I think it's a decent game. I think it's another solid Call of Duty game. I think it's better than Modern Warfare 3. I think the campaign, unfortunately took a couple steps back from Black Ops 2, because remember in Black Ops 2 they introduced things like those tactical side missions you could do, different choices you could make in the game that would affect the ending, some stuff that was really revolutionary for Call of Duty, and the campaign was longer. This game, the campaign goes back to being very, very short and doesn't have any of those choices or side missions or anything that Black Ops 2 had. So I think in that regard, the game is a step back from Black Ops 2. But still doesn't mean the campaign's not fun. It is. You'll have your fun playing the campaign. It's a good 4 to 5 hours. It feels like a full campaign. It doesn't feel like you got, the short end of the stick, or it doesn't feel, it feels like a solid length campaign and that they paced it well. So you'll have your fun there. The multiplayer, again, I thought it was better than Modern Warfare 3's. I thought Modern Warfare 3's was garbaggio. But at the same time, it's nothing that really grips me. It's nothing that, basically, bottom line on this game, almost with every Call of Duty, if you enjoy Call of Duty for what it is, this game won't disappoint you. I don't think if you're a fan of Call of Duty, you're going to go buy this game and be like, man, this game really disappointed me. You'll probably enjoy it, say, okay, yeah, it feels like the next iteration, feels good, awesome. If you're somebody who does not like Call of Duty at all, don't get the game. It's no different. If you're somebody who isn't one way or the other on Call of Duty, but you're kind of waiting for Call of Duty to maybe innovate or do something different before you go buy the game, don't, because it doesn't. Not enough to warrant you to jump into the series if you haven't jumped in yet or anything like that. It's not a game that stands out from the rest of the Call of Duty bunch or anything like that. It fits right in, and it's not a bad game. It's a fun game. It does have a lot of content between the in-depth multiplayer, which, by the way, in addition to the new game modes, has all the classic game modes back. They didn't take any out that I could find. And you will enjoy the Extinction co-op mode, at least for a while. You might get bored because it's only one map, but if you are going to buy the DLCs, I assume that there will be new Extinction maps in there, so it'll be something that you can keep enjoying. So, Call of Duty Ghosts, I said what I have to say on it. Now I'm going to give my score. I'm going to give Call of Duty Ghosts a 7.5. It's an above average game because of the amount of content. It's a well-made game. It's fun, but it's nothing that puts itself out there. It's nothing that shines through or separates itself from even the pack of its own games. It doesn't separate itself from any of the other Call of Duties and stand out as like the best one or anything like that. It just kind of fits in rank and file, and so that's kind of the deal. Not really surprising, but at least it wasn't like a piss poor game. You know what I mean? At least it like didn't work, or it was buggy, or it was just bad. It's a good game, but it's a rank and file Call of Duty, so make your purchase based on that. Alright? So that's my review of Call of Duty Ghosts on the PlayStation 4. I hope you found it enjoyable for you. To put it in perspective, I certainly would play a lot more of that game online than I would Modern Warfare 3's for sure. I don't enjoy it as much as Black Ops, and I didn't really like Black Ops 2 that much either. It was okay. I think this game is actually, the multiplayer is a little bit better than the past couple, than Modern Warfare 3 and Black Ops 2. The campaign takes a step back from Black Ops 2, and the extinction mode is what it is. So, 7.5 out of 10, Ghosts on PS4. Thank you very much for watching, and this is the start of my next generation of Voodoo's Verdicts, reviewing games for the PlayStation 4. So thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time on another Voodoo's Verdict.